Hi friends, welcome back to Rambling Ruth. Today I have a confession to make, and it's not insignificant. It's a cutting mat and fabric mountain kind of confession. I am a craft supply addict. I own an embarrassing amount of fabric. We're talking tubs of fabric and cutting mats. I could pretty much tile my kitchen floor with them. Rulers, I've got so many I could measure every inch of my house twice over. And felt, oh baby, let's just say if there's ever a worldwide felt shortage, don't panic. I got you covered. I got your back. And remember the Eras tour and those beaded friendship bracelets? Yeah, I could have supplied an entire stadium, probably two, if I'm being honest. I have zillions of beads, and trust me, I am not exaggerating. And truthfully, that's only the tip of the iceberg of craft supplies I own. I once described a child's birthday party I attended as obscenely over the top. Well, my craft supplies are obscenely over the top. This shouldn't surprise you, and it isn't a surprise to anyone who knows me, but it actually gets a little worse than that. I have a semi-industrial sewing machine sitting in my hallway. I've never opened, still in the box. I have a serger I actually unboxed, but I've never used it. I mean, I love the idea of being able to sew on leather or vinyl or serge seams, but my motivation tends to fly out the window when I think about what I know is going to be an extreme learning curve. And this is coming from the person who 8 months in still doesn't know how to edit a YouTube video. I mean, sadly though, it's not just crafts. It's Amazon orders, Target runs, kitchen gadgets, shoes, clothes, sourdough bread supplies. Hello, pandemic, right? Raise your hand if any of that sounds familiar. My hand's way up there. So here's the thing. This isn't just about cornering the market on fabric, felt, beads, and sourdough bread supplies. Obviously, there's a much bigger problem going on here. Why in the world do we feel compelled to buy so much stuff we don't need? Or worse, stuff we know deep down we'll probably never use? There's no way I can use even an eighth of the craft stuff I have before they're sprinkling my ashes at Disneyland. And before you come at me, I know that's illegal, but I can dream, can't I? Seriously though, let's look at the psychology of it. And yeah, we're digging deep here, people. Another self-help video. So what's really going on? FOMO, right? We're terrified of missing out on the next best thing. What if I wake up tomorrow with a sudden urge to start my own quilting empire and I don't have every quilting ruler known to man? Unfreaking thinkable, right? Then there's the dopamine reward. I can't explain the complexity of it, but it's brain chemistry. Buying something gives us a little dopamine hit, that tiny rush of excitement. It feels like we've solved a problem we didn't actually have, right? It's filling an emotional void. Sometimes when we're buying that fabric, what we're really trying to buy is comfort. It's not about the beads. It's not about the thing. It's about filling some little or big emotional gap, like giving future me the tools to become the person I think I should be. And don't forget, social influence. That's probably number one. You see someone online making leggings or receiving blankets or t-shirts, and suddenly you're like, dang, I need a serger too. Obvious, right? I mean, otherwise, how the heck am I going to keep up? So we buy a serger that sits and that doesn't get used. So what do we do about it? Because laughing about my bead stash is fun, but the truth is, how can I ever retire or save money if I'm binge spending? That ain't gonna happen. That kind of spending takes over your wallet and your peace of mind, or if you have any peace of mind left, it uses it all up. So here are a few reasonable things that experts suggest might help. And a few of them I've done myself. Identify and remove your triggers. Unsubscribe from store newsletters. I'm looking at you, Old Navy, World Market, Williams, Sonoma. Marketers get paid big bucks to get consumers to part with their hard-earned cash, and I'm going to say they're doing a pretty good job of it, right? Delete shopping apps off your phone, and if you like to window shop, leave your wallet at home in the trunk of your car. Stick your driver's license in your pocket and nothing else. Track your spending. I mean, this can't be the first time you're hearing that. Crazy as it sounds, some people write down every penny they spend. Try it at least once and see just how much you're spending frivolously. That's a hard word to say, frivolously. And while you're at it, track your feelings. How do you feel before you buy? Excited? Happy? Anxious? And after? Guilty? Remorseful? And then later, when the credit card bill comes or you're looking at your bank statement, is that an OMG moment? I mean, it's probably not the most fun thing you've ever done, but that awareness can highlight patterns you may or may not realize you have, or in some cases you've chosen to ignore. I've done this a couple of times, and I think I spend less because actually I don't want to write down the embarrassing things like I went to C's, which is a popular candy store in California, 3 times this month. Nope. Replace shopping with other activities. If you have a surplus of craft supplies, make something. Make this a handmade holiday. Go for a walk. If you're frustrated, you might actually need some exercise. Walk that frustration or anger off. If you're tired, maybe you need a nap. If you're sleeping, you can't be buying, right? Binge watch a series on PBS. There are still some free ones on there, I think. If you need something more stimulating or fun, visit a museum, even virtually. I'll give you permission to spend on a museum ticket because that's real enrichment. Set a challenge for yourself. Try going 30 days without buying anything non-essential. If that sounds like too much, start with a week or 3 days. Think of it as a detox for your wallet, if you will. Try the 48-hour rule. Instead of buying that thing right now, write the item down on a Post-it or in your phone with the price. Wait for 48 hours. If you still want it after that, okay, go for it. But a lot of times the thrill wears off and you realize you didn't actually need it. You just wanted it. I mean, I just did that very thing with a new vacuum. It was very pricey, even on sale. So in that 48-hour window, I did some significant research and weighed the pros and cons and decided it was worth the price. I even unboxed it and popped in the parts that needed to be assembled. I'm not really sure I can give myself a pat on the back for that because, after all, I do have to vacuum. And ultimately, if it feels bigger than you can handle, like so many things do in our life, working with a therapist or an accountability partner can sometimes help. Sometimes spending is more about filling an emotional void, and having support to find healthier coping strategies can make all the difference in the world. Trust me, I know. So, yeah, buying stuff you don't really need or ever use makes for funny stories, but it can also be, part of a bigger struggle with money, emotions, and habits. Yeah, and if you're in the same boat, just know you're not alone. We're all trying to figure the insanity out one day at a time, right? So tell me in the comments, what's your most unused, ridiculous purchase, craft supply or otherwise? Let's get it out all in the open. Confession time, right? Because the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Yeah, I got a problem. So, as always, thank you for listening. And please give this video a like, subscribe, because I know you need more rambling nonsense in your life. We all do. And as always, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I'll see you next time. Bye.